Alright folks, we're on our way to go and try to exchange the camera. My biggest issue was that the lens wasn't wide enough, so it always looked like it was really zoomed in on me. And there was this weird like white noise always in the background, kind of like a... And I believe that that's due to the fact that the microphones were on top. So in order to be able to hear what was in front of the camera, they had to gain the mics way high up, and I didn't have any control over that. So I'm going to get a different camera that has microphones on the front and has a wider lens on it, better processor, bigger sensor. So we'll see how it does. Oh joy, back at the Best Buy. This is what we're gonna get. Oh my goodness, look at that lens on that thing. It's flipping huge. Why is it so just black? Still isn't as wide as this one, but still, it'll be nice because the low light's good. It's got microphones on the front, and it'll zoom 30 times, which is ridiculous. Apparently they don't make any that are as wide as this one is anymore. So I'm sorry, it's gonna be close to my face. So I got the new camera. Hopefully I switched out the battery with the camera that I just had, and it's the same battery. Hopefully it works, because I got really confused when we like handed each other the batteries, and I don't know if I took the new one or the charged one. Welcome to the world, our new beastly camera. This thing is gigantic. And I'm sorry, it will be a little bit more zoomed in than this one is, but it will not be as bad as the last one that we had. So let's take a look at it. First things first, how does it sound? Hopefully it sounds really good. It is very disturbing how much the lens is sticking out of this camera at me. So I don't know how close it's gonna be. I did see that there's not quite as much distance this away on this camera. So it's a 4.5 millimeter versus this one, which is 4.3. This old one's not very much wider than this one is. I want to show you guys some of the neat features of this though, because there is one thing that I want to try out that I think is going to be really neat. So let's get going on this zoom here, eh? So here's the zoom, right? See if I can get it to focus here. I think I zoomed in way too fast. I'm also zooming through a window, so it might not work so good. But here's what's fun. If I press this button, it real quick zooms out so that I can find my focus point, and then it zooms back into where it was before on its own. Of course, I thought it would go a lot faster than that, but it didn't. The good news is the sensor on this thing is gigantic, so I should be getting every last little bit of detail. I have the ability to do 1080p 60 frames. Unfortunately, my computer can't handle that, so we're just doing 1080p 30 frames, which isn't too bad. It's a little bit more frames per second than we had before, but I think it's pretty all right. Oh, by the way, the camera battery that we switched out, I don't think it was the one that was charged, because this one's almost dead. So I believe that means that it's not the charged one. I might be wrong on this one, but I think I am not wrong. I think I'm right. That was the word I was looking for. Still trying to work out my hand position with this camera because I have to use like a new finger, and it's getting difficult because the button's in a different place. Time for a quick dip in the pool. Did you guys see the spit in like high definition? I don't know if I'll ever get used to like how far out this lens sticks at me. It's pretty ridiculous. So in honor of the new camera, we're gonna try it out on a little, it's not quite a sunset, but it's pretty nice. I'm gonna show you guys how far in this thing zooms. All right, I'm trying not to move around so much, but there's a tree. You guys can make out all the bark on it. You ready? Ready? Let me zoom out now. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out. Yeah, it was that tree back there. That's ridiculousness. Birds. So I just kind of wanted to see how this camera does with a little bit lower light. So far it's pretty good, but check this out. It's not as bright. It's super blurry. Yeah, this looks alright. Pretty good.
Huh. It looks like it looks right now.
Yeah.
Like to me in real life.
Yeah, as long as I'm not like, and I guess that's the way the fence looks too.
Yeah.
Like it's hard for me to see the fence right now. Oh, and it's hard for it to focus when it gets dark like that. Man, oh man, I really like having our pool. It's great to just like go out there and be like, yeah, we're gonna go lay in the pool for a little bit. Sat in the pool and watched all the bats fly by, and just kind of like laid there and relaxed, because sometimes you need that. So I keep playing around with the camera, and one thing why doesn't it work now? So this camera has a function where I can zoom in on something and then push a button and it'll zoom out so I can see where I'm zoomed at, and then focus in on it and then let go of the button and it zooms back into that spot. It's kind of neat, but before because I started messing around with it and I was like, oh, this is cool, check this out, and I started recording and I couldn't get it to do it. So I think there's some sort of order that I'm supposed to do it in, and I don't know what order that is yet. And while I was messing with it, the battery died. So I know for a fact this isn't the good battery. It's the one that came with the camera originally. So that's okay because it's like a new battery. So it'll get a 100% full charge tonight. It's gonna be supercharged. So I'm gonna leave it on all night and do all that good stuff with it. So it'll be the best battery I've ever had. And as soon as I get the battery figured out and I get the zoom thing figured out, I'll show it to you guys because it's a pretty neat little function. Something else fun that this camera does that the other one couldn't do, the S120, is I can open up the camera with, I don't forget what it's called, but it's like the Canon's application on the phone, and I can use it and take photos using the phone. The battery's dying, so I will see you guys tomorrow. And now it's time to pay the price. I'm gonna go charge this battery.